What's up, everyone? Jughead's Journey here. Welcome back to my Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter 1999 series. Today, we have a triple reaction showcase, episodes 18, 19, and 20 together as a package deal. I'm told doing so, it's almost like watching it as a movie. I understand this is filler, but one, I didn't ask y'all ahead of time if I should watch or skip it, so I'm gonna watch it. Two, I understand this is not controversial is not the right word, but I just understand that some people do really enjoy this three-part filler. It's very fun and enjoyable, and you get to see some certain characters. I didn't look up why, I was just told, and I read that some people really like this three-part filler and some people don't. So I figure we might as well watch it. I don't want to disappoint those who do enjoy it and then see that I skipped over it to go straight to episode 21. And if you don't enjoy it and we don't care about the filler, I'm going to give my opinion on it. If, what I like, what I don't like, and I understand I'm going into filler right now. And, if you don't care about the filler, you'll just have to wait for episode 21 and 22. But without any further ado, tune in and watch alongside with me during my full uncut reaction, and then stay for my in-depth discussions afterwards. So I'm rocking the webcam for this reaction because 3 episodes back to back to back, I don't want my camera to overheat. That's essentially watching a movie, and so I'm gonna rock the webcam for this reaction. But episode 18, Hunter x Hunter 1999, in 3, 2, 1, let's watch. I have no clue what this is even about. I don't even know what the titles of the episodes are, because that's why I didn't just say it just now. I have to find that out. Or I skipped over that part. I don't know what we're doing. All I know is that we are on the airship on our way to Zevil Island. So I don't know where we're stopping here. A shipwreck cove. We going treasure hunting? Is that a battleship? Is this a planned stop or some impromptu? Oh, I can't read that. So if that's the title, yeah, that's the title of the episode. I don't know what it is. Is this the site for Phase 4? They don't introduce themselves as hunters. The King of Nebra. Okay, so the Hunter Committee, to all who passed phase, congratulations. So, okay, obviously we know this is not canonically a part of Phase 4. And this isn't even like a 3.5, a Phase 3.5. This is just, hey, chill for 3 days. Relax. Rest in leisure. We don't got that money. Yeah, I guess we're camping on the beach. That's why we're taking the hunter exam, so we can have money. Can I, like, wash dishes in the kitchen? Is there some chores I can do? Okay, let's build a tent on the beach somewhere. Yeah, same. That's like I said, that's why we're taking the exam. So we can get that kind of money in our bank accounts. Chores, activities, challenges. Or not. We're bartering and trading like a RPG game. Oh, we're going treasure hunting. Anything interesting? Was that Ponzu? Hey, there's that monkey back there. Oh, wait. Is that the monkey of that one contestant from Zevil Island who had a monkey? So if you find the fucking Hope Diamond... nice Kokeshi doll. If you find the fucking Hope Diamond in here, you're living in style. There is a lot of careers like that in the world of hunters. What the hell is Illumi / Get a Rocker doing there? What the hell? Whoa! Okay, you're instantaneously pointing out exactly what this is. Oh. Okay. Damn! Whoa! I was about to say, that looks like the staff like the Pope or the Queen has. The Queen of England? I thought we were on a fictional... I thought we were in a fictional world. What the hell is the Queen of England doing here? This has to be a weird translation, right? Because what the hell is that? The Queen of England in the 18th century. That makes no sense. That's how you instantly know this is filler, when you got something like that. And how has none of this been discovered yet? Oh, nice. Well, he's gonna use that for himself. Okay, yeah, somebody's stopping him. Damn, he scored! Also, this should be the point where he gives up, because you're holding a staff that's worth hundreds of millions of Jenny. You might as well, I quit the hunter exam, and you just take that with you. Be like, I'll sell this at an auction and get my 300 million Jenny. Also, isn't phase 4 where he gave up and he doesn't play anymore?
こっちのお宝どうすんだよ。そんなの目じゃないよ。まだまだいっぱいあるんだ。わかった。
本当に沈んでたのか。
疑って悪かったな。お詫びにこれやるよ。
あららら。
Is this a fresh crash? What did he just find? Those people weren't even like decomposed. Is this a brand new crash? And you're telling me when it crashed, none of these people like beforehand, you know, went in there to pillage it?
他の宝石がダイヤとごっちゃに入って傷だらけです。削り直さないと使い物になりません。
Bro.
傷物でもミトさんは喜ぶと思うけどな。
Take some back for the women in your life. Also, 10 million Johnny. That's what I was saying.
これで医者にもなれるし、一生遊んで暮らせるぜ。
何これ？大砲の弾だな。高いの？聞いてみろよ。どうレオリオ？一生遊んで暮らせそう？
次の人。
What did you find? What the hell is that?
これは
クルタの伝説にあるカナンよけの効力を持つ黄金のペンダント。
Offers protection to whoever wears it.
高いの？
Well, it's priceless to him. Because he's part of the Kurta clan. Yeah, how long has that ship been there? When did it crash? So it's been here long as fuck, but you've never gone inside it, and nobody else has. It's just been sitting there on this person's hand that hasn't decomposed yet.
教えられるようなことは何もありません。
そうか。
では、こいつはお返しします。それと、部屋はお貸しします。
ありがとう。
So you keep the item and get the room. So does that mean Go and Killua get to keep their 10 million Jenny worth of stuff and get their room too? Time for dinner. Maybe we need to catch a few more though. Yeah, that feels out of character for Killua. Saying ew to a worm? Quick learner. Got a good teacher. Ew, ugly ass fish. Put it on. Get that protection.
納得いかねえ。お、そのメガネは飾り物かよ。じゃあ、あのお宝の価値を知らんわけじゃないだろう。こんなポロホテル丸ごと貸し切ったってお釣りが来るぐらいだ。それがなんであんな安物のペンダント一つ拾っただけのクラピカと同じ部屋なんだ。それは部屋が気に入らないなら変わってやろうか。日当たり抜群の一人部屋だ。思いっきり手足伸ばせるぜ。かたじけない。
Duo rooming together.
よろしいので。ああ、ルームメイトにちょいと野望用があるんでね。
Like what?
よ
う、ノックぐらいしたらどうだ。
ルームメイトだ。いいだろう。
No, I think it's still polite to knock first.
腐れ縁ってやつさ。
親しき中にも礼儀ありだ。
Yeah, exactly.
どこへ？
詮索無用。
詮索
？None of your beeswax.
日当たりのいい一人部屋だがよ。このままじゃ伸ばすどころか。もう味噌 のシワまで伸びきっちまう。
Is this the old man that aren't there? I'm trying to remember the original Hunter exam. There's a guy that dies from Hisoka. That's the worst roommate ever. There's an old man that dies on Zevil Island to Hisoka, right? That's when he has his bloodlust. And then there's an old man during the final phase. Is that one of the old men from that? You got Hisoka now? Oh, never mind. It's this guy from Zevil Island with all the snakes. There's Ponzu. Who's your roommate now? There's Hisoka. Those the ugly eel? Grilling up some unagi? Time to feast. This feels so out of place for Killua.
お片付けか。
ああ、
この船、クルタ族のか。
ああ。
ルームメイトが心配で様子を見に来たが、いらぬおせっかいだったようだ。じゃあな。
料理を。
ん？
火を。
Come on, you need someone to share things with.
マッチでいいが。
ああ。
そら。
火の目。
火の目？
そう。燃えるような。黄色の目。クルタ族は感情が激しく高ぶると、その瞳は鮮やかな黄色に変わる。そしてその状態で
This we know.
火の色は焦ることなく永遠に瞳に刻まれたままになる。その火の輝きは世界で最も美しいものの一つに数えられる。
This we already know as well.
クルタ族が幻影旅団に虐殺された理由はそれか。
By the Geni Ryodan? What the hell is that?
一つ残らず瞳が奪い去られていた。今でも
The Gen...
暗い瞳が語りかけてくる。
Who is that?
おそらくこの船も幻影旅団から逃れようとしてナンパしたのだろう。唯一の
Oh, so these weren't people stealing from the Kurta clan that stole this necklace. These were Kurta clan members that were running away from the Gene Ryodan.
襲われた痕跡がなかったことだ。
Whoever the hell that is, non-canonical, probably. No, it has to be. That has to be non-canonical, because I've not heard that. I've never heard that name before in my life. In the other Hunter x Hunter. And this show ends at Greed Island, at the end of Greed Island. And that's when the manga ended, because that's where they had to end the anime, because the manga didn't have enough. And I know we've never seen that word before, so this has to be non-canonical. The Gene Ryodan.
悲願を果たすためにもお前はハンターになるしかない。必ずな。
And he threw it away.
今年は豊作でしたね。
ああ、いいのが揃ってるようだな。
あれもいいものだったのでしょ。あのお守りですよ。
まあね。しかし、いいものであればあるほど、本来置いておくべき場所がある。お金では買えない、かけがえのない思いと一緒にね。ここは
Should sit on the bottom of the sea with the ship that sunk and the people
これからもずっと
laid to rest.
ええ、おじいさん。
室温が下がんねえ。
Bro,
じゃ寝られねえ。
close your legs. Put some pants on, damn it. Why are the beds so close together? That's gotta be awkward. And so they know each other already going into Zevil Island. Because there's a whole episode for these two characters with the snakes and the bees. And so it's showing that they already were aware of each other and knew each other going in.
ビシッと決めるぜ。
なんだ今冷たいものが接
さっぱりしたぜ。
あれ？どうした？今何か聞こえなかった？別に波音だろ。そう。
Where did Kilo get a hairbrush from? Unless it just stocked in the hotel rooms. Yeah, I don't peg him as someone that's, constantly fixing his hair, trying to look good.
勘違いしてるお前の方が危ないってのもったく。しまいには本当にそうぞ。
The image of picturing Hisoka sleeping. Where is it? Also, the way Gitaraka is sleeping and Hanzo double cheeked up. But where's Hisoka? Right there. Just the thought, the idea, the concept of Hisoka sleeping feels odd to me. And his 5 stack of card towers behind him. It's like I almost peg Hisoka as being someone who doesn't sleep.
そろそろですよ。
ああ、時間だな。
ええ。
Right about time for what? True that they both move around in their sleep a lot.
キルア、起きて。
Crack of dawn?
音が。音？
Is that the airship taking off? Did they just steal the airship? Did they not actually own this place? Were they stranded? They're stealing the airship? How are they stealing the airship? This makes no sense. Did they steal the airship or are they just... I don't get it. Because shouldn't Netero and people be on there? Am I mistaken? Oh, then the episode's already over. Okay. And so, time for the next episode in 3, 2, 1. Let's continue watching. Now that the airship is, I guess, been stolen by those two people. And now that they're stranded and have to get to Zevil Island somehow. I swear I don't remember it being 2 airships. I thought the whole Netero, the other people are all on the airship with them, following along.
あれから5時間以上は経ってる。たく、こんなところに36人も客を置き去りにする支配人がどこの世界にいるってんだよ。
Or is this a phase? Or is this a test? And now you have to get to, like, you have to get to phase 4 either way. It starts with or without you. Is this like, is this a 3.5 phase? We gotta get to Zevil Island?
そのお宝だが、さっき管理人の部屋を見てきたんだが、全部置いてあったぜ。
忘れてったのかな。
そんなわけねえだろ。ただ置き去りにされたわけではないようだな。
これも試験の一つだと。
That's what I'm saying. Could be part of the exam.
材料が足りない。
兄ちゃん、じゃあ飯は誰が作るんだ？
Gone. Cook some eel and fish for everybody.
じゃあ俺たち餓死しちゃうよ。こんなでっかいのことで。
少し落ち着けよ。飯なら魚を取ってくればいい。
Especially go.
問題はこれからどうするかだろう。
Who is that? Okay. Is that Paco?
それ壊れてるの？
いや、無線機自体は壊れてない。
原因はわからないけど、どの周波
So we also get to see them two together before the Chimera Ant arc.
どことも連絡が
That they do interact somewhat
これじゃ
together.
俺たち36人まとめて遭難したも同然だよ。
Sounds like you got a trek on foot to the phase 4.
今何か変な音しなかった？
いや、別に。
そう。
こうしていても始まらん。ここはまず手分けして手がかりになるものを探すってのはどうだ？
賛成だ。そうしよ
もう少し続けてみてくれないか？
あ、わかった。
Left in the middle of drinking some tea. All of a sudden.
こんなものがあったぜ。
コンパスか。
ああ、
It is part of the
俺
test.
もおかしなことに人数分ある。
俺の方はこの計測器具だ。
う。管理人室を探してたら。
Compasses and protractors
何？
and whatever the other thing is called.
ここが私たちが今いる軍艦島。この航路はゼビル島へとなっている。
Yep, so you gotta make it. Wait, are they gonna have to build a raft?
間違いない。こいつは試験だ。その島に行けってことだ。
So we have a filler phase. We have a 3.5, a phase 3.5 filler 3 episode arc.
確かにわかるが、距離はわからない。
どういうことだ？
確かに海は穏やかだ。嵐の兆候もない。だが、ゼビル島までの距離がどれくらいあるのかわからなければ、何日分の食料を積めばいい。水はどうする？
Really comes in handy when Gon has an actual, his main prop tool is a fishing
それだ
rod.
けでは曖昧で危険だ。
I don't know where it is right now, but
試験はトラップだらけだということを忘れたのか。
you could build a raft and he could just fish off the raft.
このメモ自体が罠かもしれない。
おいおい、お前ちょっと疑りすぎじゃねえのか？俺もゼビル島に来いってのは間違いないと思うぜ。
私だってそこまで疑っているわけではない。ただひとまずここは夜を待って星が出てからもっと正確な位置と方位を測った方が安全だと言っている。
So what happens when you're gonna have to get back onto the canon track on those rails and continue on that story of like they just survived and had to fight their way to get to Zevil Island, and then you get to Zevil Island. It's okay. Now's time for the phase. Instead of getting off of the airship, you know, you just arrive at the island.
皆に不安を与えるような発言は感心しないな。何か根拠があるのか？
タンクの水を見てきた。
飲み水の残りはほとんどないぜ。のんきに構えてると全員干からびちまうんだよ。いいか、俺たちの
We're also getting dialogue from this guy before Zevil Island. It's leading up all these characters that we see for the first time in Zevil Island. We're actually getting some screen time for them beforehand.
よしフレーだおい決まりだデビル島行くぞ待てバラバラに出て行っては何かあった時に乗り切れないぞ残りたやつは残りゃいいさ
皆を煽るな下手をすると遭難者が出るぞ
I don't think he cares. Yeah, you know, we're getting rid of opponents. Well, we know you survive, because we see you on Zevil Island.
どうする？
クラピカ、お前の言い分もわかるけどよ。あいつの話にも
I like that Hanzo's a part of this crew, because I like Hanzo. So to get more of him, I'm happy with. I don't like this guy. Okay, good. He's a loner.
俺はクラピカの意見が正しいと思うだが夜までじっとしてるのが得策かどうかは疑問だ手分けしてもう一度この島の
This feels like a pretty fucking stacked crew, though, to trek through the jungles and the forest during the day or night.
お前はどうするんだ
あの分からず屋たちを説得する何にしても人数は
You know, Kurapika, Leorio, Gon, Killua, Hanzo together. I feel like that's a stacked crew.
あーすげえこんなのあったって意味ないよまさか海の中歩いていくわけにはいかないだろそりゃそうだね他を探そうぜ
Any of those rowboats work? Like, if that motor works. That mast's gonna break off. Nope. Oh, they actually got it. How shallow is the boat in if they're at waist level pulling the boat out on shore? They're gonna get killed. Considering these are all generic-ass looking characters that I don't recognize, I feel like all these people are getting killed in some storm or something.
気圧が変わってその影響で電波状態も変わるからなんか飛び込んでくるかもしれないけど
おいおい物騒なことを言わないでくれこんなところで嵐に会いたくはない
どうだった
ダメだ何も聞く耳を持たんそっちは
手がかりなし
そうかしかしわからんなこの試験の目的だ課題が出たわけではないあるのは不十分なメモ動かない軍艦無数の難破船
Can we drive this big-ass ship?
すべて俺たちに判断は委ねられている一体何を試そうというのかだいたいここにはなんでこんなに難破船が集中してるんだやっぱり妙だここは危険な匂いがする
Is this all fake? Is this all like a set? A setup?
海の方からキルは聞こえないいや全然波の音しかしないでも確かに聞こえたんだ
What are you hearing? Are you hearing whale calls? Dolphins? You know, being one with nature? Are you listening to some whale calls?
Hanzo, どうだそうか無理もない
What did Hisoka and Gitterrocker do? We didn't see them take off. Are they still here? I'm sure the two of them would team up.
ましてや他人と協調するなど存外のことだろうだがこれが試験ならそれこそが命取りになるそんな気がしてならない
俺も全く同じ考えだうまく言えないが 忍者としての直感がそう教えるんだ。
My ninja instincts.
勘などというものでは誰も納得しないしな。
確かに
Let me turn
元凶で打てる手は打ち尽くし、
this
この
up.
ままではいたずらに時を重ねるだけ。何か行動を起こすべきなのだろうが。
クラピカ、もう一つ気になることがある。これも忍者としての直感だが、この
What?
海域、嫌な感じがどんどん強くなっていく。何か起きるぜ。
So him and Gon are feeling the same
そ
thing.
れこそがこの
Oh, and he was too.
それは残った奴らの共通した感覚だったみてえだぜ、クラピカ。そして何かが起こる前にできることが一つだけあるということだ。
できることとは、
それはリーダーを決めることだ。
What the fuck? Who were all those people? And he hasn't moved at all.
よし、決まりだ。
Oh, okay. These are all the people that didn't leave.
ハンゾーがリーダーでクラピカがサブリーダーだ。
People voted for Hanzo to be the leader. Makes sense.
リーダー風を吹かすつもりはないが、一つ言わせてくれ。俺は忍者だ。忍者は集団で動くとき、その力をフルに発揮できる。俺の国ではそれを和と呼ぶ。
Wa
世界はその和
or
を
harmony.
される場だと俺は思う。しばらくの間だけでいい。協力してくれ。
This is not a part of the exam. This is another test of survival to then compete at the exam. Let's all work together right now. This is not an official phase. There's those enhancer abilities.
ヒルはこれ見て。
What convenient book laying around is this?
この船の日誌だ。やったな、お手柄だぜ、ゴン。
やったな、兄ちゃん。
What's the logbook going to show
何
us?
よりのお宝だ。これで楽勝だ。
What is that?
なるほど。
Was that a mini hot air? But what was that?
この島に固定されて砲台として使われていたんだ。この日誌はその時の部隊長がつけていたものだ。
The war. Are they saying like World War II? Considering it looks like a old
近いぞ。
battleship.
小型のボートでも1日あれば行ける距離だ。
Again, since apparently this takes place in the real world.
無線に変化があったわ。
The fucking Queen of England.
混じり始めたの。
どうやら大気が不安定になってきてるようだ。
Storms a brewing. Is this place fucking haunted? Is that what I'm about to get? Like, is this place haunted? And all these people are leaving at the worst time, when the storm's about to approach.
なんだありゃ。
大気が歪んでいる。
A giant mirage?
そうだったのか。通信ができな
Are we on the fucking island and lost?
いや、もしかしたらもっと前から大気に異常が発生してたんだ。それが日没になって太陽の角度が変わって大気の異常が肉眼で見えるようになったんだ。
Where the hell are we?
また聞こえる。あの音だ。沖の方から聞こえてくる。
What are you hearing? I got the volume loud as hell. Am I supposed to be hearing something? Let me boost the volume.
本当なんだな、ゴン。
聞こえる。わずかだけど、ゴン、俺にも聞こえる。
昼間はもっと小さな音だった。でも、
7月4日、
I didn't hear shit.
電波障害発生。兆候が現れたことにより撤退準備を始める。我が守備隊は明日早朝をもって当砲台を放棄、避難する。明日の日没前後、第一波襲来が予測される。その前に、
第一波？何のことだい？
それは予想通り10年に一度の周期で、
Of course, and we're here on the 10th anniversary. Where did they get a hot air balloon from? And that's the worst fucking thing to be traveling in right now. Is that a fucking typhoon? A water spout? Some supernatural freaky shit going on.
大気の歪みと水位の急激な上昇。10年に一度の天体現象。それが今始まったんだ。
What kind of Scooby-Doo haunted magic stuff is going on?
でももう間に合わない。手遅れだ。
Nope, Gun's gonna jump in, of course. They're all gonna crash. And is he gonna jump in after them to try and save them like he did on the ship he was on to get off Whale Island? Well, we know he has to survive somehow. So it looks like Gon is gonna be the one to save him. And when they're on Zevil Island, don't they have an interaction together? So this is, again, another example of two characters mingling and interacting before they canonically do for the first time. Hot air balloon got to be the stupidest thing you did. Why the hell would you get in that? You can barely, you can't even control what direction it would be going in. I like his hair slicked back. Almost kind of gave a fucking Crollo vibe. Don't get caught on the hook. That, The amount of times I've had a hand, finger, something on the face get snagged by a hook while fishing, or somebody else catching me with, oh god, I hate that. Oh god. Yeah, nobody's listening to this leader here. And you just got saved by a 12-year-old kid. Well, this ship has survived this storm for multiple 10 years. Should be able to survive today. Hisoka just chilling outside. Damn, this place flooded.
落ち着いている場合ではない。24時間後、第2波が来る。しかも今度は。
こんなところまで来るってのか。
You're telling me this ship gets flooded underwater?
24時間後、この海域から全てが消える。
That would mean this whole goddamn island goes underwater. The height of this ship is taller than the entire island. Look at that. You're telling me the entire island gets submerged underwater? And so, episode 20, episode 3 of our triple episode reaction showcase in 3, 2, 1. Let's finish this out. Let's see how this culminates. The people were right that this does feel like a movie when you watch all three back to back to back. It's like watching one of those filler non-canon Hunter x Hunter movies, which I'm told all suck. So this is actually, 3 filler episodes considered a movie is better than the actual Hunter x Hunter movies. Though there are multiple characters acting out of place because you're not following the canon, so you're not following Tagashi. So you have multiple characters not acting like themselves. Or just weird world building stuff. I still can't get over the fact that we live in the real world of Earth and there's a fucking Queen of England. And that England exists. Or, even something as calling something the 18th century, everything that implies, like a timeline, and the way that we function, the way that we organize our years and why. So are we taking this ship out to sea? Q. He looks familiar. Yeah, it's wedged in the fucking cliffside.
それにはこの船そのものの大砲を使うしかないだろう。このボロ船のかよ。40センチ砲4門による連続射撃。それしかない。
Not even blowing up the actual rock. I feel like just the force of the cannons would dislodge the ship. The kinetic energy that it would send the ship back. Yeah, let's make sure the engines run before we get ahead of ourselves here. Oh, so they work together already. Early romance. Since I understand, there was some shipping going on between Paco and Ponzi. Let's use that diving suit that they found. It's not whether we think we can, it's that you have to. This whole thing is more difficult, is more of a test than the actual fucking Phase 4 is. Getting to Zevil Island is more challenging than Zevil Island. What did Hisoka say? Let me go back. Because there are also 2 characters that are kind of acting kind of weird, out of place in my opinion. Oh, okay. They're all full of energy. That's a shit ton of dynamite for one spot. Oh, I thought they were going to use the diving suit. Impressive how long you can hold your breath underwater for. Like, I know Gon can. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised Killua can, because I assume that would also be a form of the torture training that he went through. If he was getting waterboarded or other torture methods of everybody has to learn, you know, hold their breath for 15 minutes or something. I don't know.
本当にこいつの砲弾を見たんだろうな。艦内には一発も残されていないようだが。
この潜水服、本当に大丈夫なんだろうな。
There's the diving suit. There's no way that oxygen tank has anything in it. I assumed you were going to use the old-fashioned breathing tube.
Choki turbine engine か。
燃料は足りるかしら。
こいつが動かない限り、俺たちは海の木図ってことだな。
考えててもしょうがないわ。
Where's the coal? Or whatever the hell this uses. If it's an old-ass warship. That scared me for a second. I thought that was like a fucking sea creature or something. What the hell is that? Oh. They're picking up armaments. There's no way those are still fireable. More treasure. Keep it.
皮肉なもんだぜ。こんだけの金貨より、今はこの砲弾の方が価値があるとはな。
I like that line. The value of these shells to get ourselves to Zevil Island for the chance to become a hunter is worth more than the millions and millions of Jenny these gold coins would be worth. And where the hell's Tonpa? Did he give up? I guess I wasn't paying much attention. Or really noticing where Tonpa decided to dip.
動かない的は面白くないのね。
ご苦労。砲弾はもう十分だ。料理をあげてくれ。何？
Again, this is so interesting this is so much more difficult than the actual Zevil Island is. And all of y'all worked together as a team to survive and accomplish all this. And then to go back to canon to where Phase 4 is just, you know, again, everybody for themselves. Like, completely forget that we went through all of this together and... Oh, there's Tonpa. And did all of this together. Because, of course, this doesn't canonically happen.
最終判断はお前に任す。いいな。クラビカ、半蔵、どうした？海が。なんてこった。
こっちは終わったよ。
ご苦労。
Save Leorio.
そっちはどう？あれ、レオリオは？
He's trapped.
またかよ。
ダメだ。
Saving people again.
かけるしかない。
バカ野郎。
まだやることが山ほどある。こっちを手伝ってくれ。ラピカ、聞こえるか。ゴンが向かってくれた。レオリオはゴンに任せよう。それと外を見ろ。竜巻が近づいてる。スピードから到達時間が割り出せるはずだ。作戦行動の指揮を頼む。俺はキルアと主砲に向かう。
了解だ。速度目3毎分200メートル。
Okay, we're doing advanced arithmetic here.
本艦は竜巻到着時間の直前、潮位の上昇により威力が最大になる約10分後の1830時、主砲の一斉停車により船首を固定している岩盤を破壊し、同時に主動力機関の全力稼働による更新運動を行い、
We need the engines to work at the same time that we reach maximum buoyancy, at the same time that the cannons are ready to fire.
作業の完了に邁進せられたし。では、時刻合わせ、作戦行動秒読み開始。
キルア、今迷ってる暇はない。
分かってら。
Is Gon gonna use his innate enhancer strength? Yep. Look at that. Uh-oh.
こちら艦首最下層部バラスト用の海水の流し込み順調。
Oh, that's a good thing.
船体は安定するはずだ。
よくやってくれた。機関室の方へ回ってくれ。ポックル、どうだ。
今4機のタービン機関すべての調整が終わった。すでに12個のボイラーは臨界圧力状態だ。これから接続を行う。
Where'd you get the fuel?
怖い。チャンスは一度だけ。一度失敗してボイラーの圧力が下がれば再び臨界に達するのに20分はかかる。
Also, for a beast hunter, he's smart, because how the hell did you get, you an engineer too?
この手に
That you got
14人の命がかかっていると思うと
all this to work?
俺は
Ooh. So this filler in this adaptation lines up with the filler content in the 2011 adaptation for these two characters. All the little cute romance stuff for these two characters are both fillers.
エンジン4機とも始動よし。主砲のレシプロ水圧ポンプ4台に動力を供給する。
Now, you don't have to take that hand-touching thing as romantic. It could just be, you know, oh, two people in a time of desperation, you know, believing in each other, and it, you know, it's just a human thing. But I'm just basing it off of what we know from the other adaptation as well.
だがそれじゃこの真っ暗な海の中で上も下もわからねえだろうな。
I'm also surprised how well Tonpa
コン比べなら自信あるぜ。
is helping out. Yeah, all of this stuff working is incredible. I like the sound effects.
装填完了。
The sound design on that was nice.
よし、音を回せ。
I like the animation on that too.
用意はいいか。
That was good. That looked cool.
ただの壁じゃない。
船のダメージを最小限に抑えたい。岩盤の脆そうなところを狙ってくれ。
Almost gave off like mecha anime vibes for a second there. Again,
発射指示を待て。
if you know, like, the force exerted on those weapons, on these World War II battleships back then, like, the force alone, okay, how is he not dead? Unconscious underwater. for who knows how long. Lungs full of water. And he's away. Okay, bro. That's some plot armor. What was the point in writing that he even gets knocked out? What was the point of that? He actually doesn't know that, but he believes in it so much so that he's giving him the clear to go. He doesn't actually know that for certain. There's no way he can know that. But he's just giving him the green to go. Do it. Yep. It's not lying. You don't know. But it's not lying if you believe something. I like this sound design. Sounds so mecha. Also, one. Gon's enhancer strength to lift that shell off of Leorio. His enhancer strength to be able to pick up Leorio in that heavy-ass suit and lift him to the surface and to swim with him. Innate enhancer strength. Uh-oh. Let's not blow a hole in the hull like Titanic. Kurapika. Wake up. Yeah, balance out the ship. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying. The recoil force of these weapons is so strong. If you've seen like World War II naval battles footage, seeing those fire off the port or starboard side and how much it recoils the ship in the other direction, the force exerted on the metal of the ship. Is that Illumi? Why would they... Okay. What a tease that you put in filler to like ruin the surprise that a certain character isn't who they actually are. That was definitely Illumi with that long, slick black hair. And that Illumi as a character drops his disguise, which I already feel like he would not do. Like, why would he have to do that? Why would he have to drop his disguise to pilot the ship? But to do something like that, drop the disguise, and then be the hero. And he's not changed back? Why is he not? Nobody notices this guy? Like, hey, who's this person we haven't seen before hanging with Hisoka? That is way out of character. And for Hisoka to be like, good job, man. Good job, pal. While Hisoka does nothing. Because we've seen it's actually the other way around. Hisoka is the one that's, you know, happy to help, happy to participate, to go with a challenge. Yeah, bonus stage. Okay. Interesting. So, let's discuss this Treasure Island filler. I don't have much to talk about. I don't really have anything even organized in my head, in my mind, or in my notes. So I'm just going to jump around from idea to idea out of order, in whichever order as they come to me. I don't really care to discuss filler for very long. So even though this was pretty much a movie's length worth of Hunter x Hunter, 3 episodes back to back and hour long, I'm not going to, you know, have a half hour's worth of discussion material here. At the end of the day, it's still filler. It was pretty good, entertaining filler. Considering I've not liked any of the existing filler at all so far, this was good. Even though this filler still changes a handful of pretty important things and takes a liberty messing with some stuff. But I did like most of it overall. You definitely need to watch these back to back to back. I can't imagine watching this series on TV when it aired. This 3-part filler. The huge thing about this adaptation in general, I notice every video that I record and have to edit and post is how harsh the cliffhangers are every single episode. The pacing is like so odd that the 22 minutes is up like literally in the middle of a scene, and they have to like cliffhang you practically in the middle of a conversation right when it gets interesting. I'm doing 2 episodes of video to try and like combat that, and it still only helps marginally. Thank God I knew this was 3-part filler ahead of time and put all together in this video, because I can't imagine doing episode the 18, 19, and then y'all would have to wait for the actual culmination of the entire filler, waiting for me to get to 20, and then 21 is just completely back to can. So I'm happy I did it this way. We do actually get some of, like, they make up for things that they removed or messed up prior. Like, we do actually get some of Kurapika's backstory here. That part in the tunnel where Kurapika and Leorio are running together and the two share their respective histories. This adaptation doesn't include Kurapika's backstory. They just skip it for some odd choice because, I don't know, we just absolutely had to see Killua's bombs for some reason instead. Here, they make it up by including, you know, the fate of the Kurta clan, giving Kurapika screen time to really get into his trauma and what happened to his, essentially his family, his clan, and Kurapika's history. We get that in this filler. Though, the way you do it, it makes no sense to me the Kurta clan would get on ships to sail away and escape the Phantom Troop. That doesn't make much sense to me. I do have a sort of complaint about the beginning. In the beginning, the filler felt very, like, overly comedic, especially in the first half. The scenes where they're, like, finding random expensive treasures in the water in exchange for hotel rooms. I don't know. It doesn't feel very Hunter x Hunter to me. They remark how treasure hunting is a skill every hunter must have, but they don't actually hunt for anything. There's no puzzles or traps or challenges or really anything intellectual at all. You just, you know, there's a ship marooned here. Just board a ship, walk through it, and you find treasures no one else has apparently found already. Like the Kurta pendant is literally just dangling on a banister right in front of Kurapika's eyes. Or just, you know, hold your breath, swim down and discover one of many totally priceless artifacts in the sand. And it just had a lot of comedy gags. The Amori brothers picking up Gitter Rocker's head, Leorio dragging a heavy chest that ended up not having anything in it, Gon somehow finding a staff meant for the Queen of England. Now this is can go either way. This isn't even supposed to be our Earth. Why is there a Queen of England? Now, I don't know. I understand this world is pretty much supposed to be a parallel reality to ours, just with supernatural abilities. Like I get that it has to be earthbound, since Christianity, Buddhism, other human earth things is mentioned, and even the map itself is literally just our continents bungled up, moved around on the earth. But personally, anytime I hear stuff from our world mentioned, it just immediately takes me out. But I digress there. Other gag comedy stuff like Ponzu in the bathtub with the snake snooping on her like Bourbon is a pervert. I don't know. Tonpa cycling through horrible roommates. Leorio subtly threatening to hate crime Kurapika for being gay. That kind of ages like milk. Gitter Rocker playing around with the monkey. Killua grossed out by worms and fish. Like, just last episodes, Killua can rip a man's heart out with his bare hands. No issue. He's been tortured. But worms and cooked fish are too much for him. I don't know. It just didn't feel like Hunter x Hunter. It felt like overly silly, when to me the word silly is not an adjective I'd use to describe Hunter x Hunter, especially when this is the more desaturated, gloomy, moody adaptation of the two. What this filler does very well is get me attached to some of the other background applicants we don't get much screen time for outside of this filler in the canon. I liked having, Hanzo play a lead role, be the leader. Seeing Bourbon and Ponzu interacting before the events of Zevil Island, because we know what happens with them in the cave. Also seeing Ponzu and Pakal together. Kind of, again, here, hinting at some romance, the two being paired up, where the camera lingers for a little bit and kind of gives you that, like, romantic feel. Which is funny considering the same romance hints take place in the Chimera Ant arc, which didn't even exist yet at this time, even in the manga. And funny how the romance between the two of them is filler both times. Togashi didn't have it that way, but for filler and what the showrunners wanted, we absolutely need to have this little romance in there. Seeing Bodoro, if it's Bodoro or Bodoro or whatever, before the final stage of the exam, seeing some of him, knowing that, Killua ultimately kills him. The Amori brothers. I always thought Kurta had a really cool look to him, and I really like the amount of screen time he got here, considering he dies on Zevil Island very soon. In general, it was just really interesting watching all the applicants put a pause on being competitors against each other and hear survivors working together instead. Knowing that many of these characters not just die, but die at the hands of one another just a few episodes from now. This filler does a good job of fleshing out more of these background characters, making them familiar faces to us, setting up Phase 4 on Zevil Island, where our characters who were just teaming up together now have to hunt each other. And like I mentioned Kurta just a few seconds ago, like, coming up, Gon saved Kurta's life here. So when we get to Zevil Island, these next episodes, and see Kurta spare Gon's life during the badge hunt, you understand it to be him returning the favor to Gon. So when Hisoka also then kills him, that hits harder. Another complaint I have is Illumi. My biggest questions were just like, why would they reveal and spoil Illumi? Why would they spoil Gitterrocker? Why would they reveal here that Gitterrocker isn't really him and just a disguise for another man? You know, sure, we don't know the name Illumi yet. We don't even get a full head-to-toe shot of this mysterious true person. But from here on out, you would be looking at Gitterrocker differently, knowing that's a disguise, knowing something is fishy here, something's up, and you're waiting for it. And why would Illumi remain out of disguise? Why would he leave his disguise in the first place? There's no reason for him to do that. And why would he stay out of it? I don't know. That makes no sense to me. As a trained professional assassin, why would he ever risk his identity dropping his disguise? You maintain your disguise until the mission is accomplished, until the mission is over, once you get that card. Or you absolutely must drop it for some reason, like during the final stage tournament of the exam when he has to confront Killua. Even just a 1% risk that someone, anyone here, let alone Killua, his brother himself, would see him. I don't know. That felt very out of character for who we come to know is Illumi. And just felt very unnecessary to do writing-wise. Like, oh, we just have to place, not like a plot twist, but like a little, like, I don't know. Like a little teaser. I don't know why. But Hisoka and Illumi helping and saving lives, that is what doesn't really stand out to me as being out of character. Hisoka saving Gon, to me, isn't out of character for him and isn't, out of character in my opinion, because one could just see it as Hisoka saving his investment, this unripe fruit, this investment he's collecting interest on, waiting for it to mature. And he called Gon a good hunter. Gon passed his test already in the swamp, and we know Hisoka has helped him in the future too. So this doesn't stand out to me as being out of character for Hisoka at all. Same for Illumi. I don't take Illumi as someone who would purposely avoid doing a good act, or even if not morally, a pragmatic act. If he's capable of doing something not difficult or risky or consuming, why not do it? He has no reason not to. So, steering the ship after Kurapika gets knocked out is not only pragmatic, like him steering the ship saves his own life and his brother's. That's all he cares about, and in doing so just so happens to save everyone else too. Kurapika waking up to being bandaged, okay, maybe that's a little out of character for Illumi. I don't know if it's meant to be implied Illumi was the one who did that, but again, I would just go with, hey, if he can do it and it doesn't hurt him or take anything away from him to do it, why not do it? The only thing I really consider to be out of character, like I said, is Illumi dropping his disguise. That's the thing that just makes no sense to me as a Zoldyck assassin. You came into the exam disguised for a reason. You keep up the disguise every second throughout the exam in canon. But here in the filler, on top of the ship, in daylight, when everyone's outside, you walk around without your disguise, nonchalantly, without a care. That part's dumb. There's a reason Togashi himself, in his canon, did not show or tease or spoil Gitterrocker as a character. But you, as the show writers, just have to do your own thing and have to ruin it. I don't know. Overall, what takes place in this filler is arguably way more difficult than anything they have to go through during the actual canon phases of the exam. They have to repair multiple key components of a World War II battleship, like the engines and the power and the guns. They have to dive to the bottom of the ocean for munitions to unwedge the ship. They have to dislodge the ship, steer the ship, and do all of this in the middle of a freak supernatural storm. And do it all while everyone works together as a single unit to accomplish the same goal. That's harder than Trick Tower. That's harder than the Swamp. That's harder than Zevil Island. It's harder than the final tournament. A bonus filler phase was more of a challenge than the actual canon phases of the exam. I thought that was funny. But, like I said, I really did not have much to talk about for this filler arc. That I've pretty much covered exactly everything that I wanted to talk about. So, this is where I'm going to end the discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course, but like the video if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below, like I just said. And if you're interested in unedited reactions and exclusive content, check out my Patreon. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, thank you, have a good one, peace.